Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to Bain Break It Down Forex. It's your boy, Big Bain, and this thing. You guys guessed it, another week, another opportunity for us to make some money in the Forex market. So let's get right to it. All right, boom. Over on the dollar, guys. Right now, we have a inverse head and shoulders, all right, at our support levels. If we look at this on the daily time frame, you guys can see that nice and clear. Coming from our downtrend, reversing, getting above this high, which gave us a change, and now we're getting a pullback of that change that can possibly drop down to this level of demand. Right, so looking at it on the 4 hour, you guys can see that we're a little mixed. Right, the dollar can rise right now because this is a demand level, but it also has imbalance to fill to the downside to where it can push down before actually beginning to rise, which I believe it's going to do. All right, so again, be very, very careful with trying to align yourself with anything with the dollar going up for right now, because even though it could, right, there's still a lot of liquidity to the downside. All right, sell side liquidity that is sitting here, guys, that it may try to take before pushing up. All right, so overall, I do believe the dollar is going to rise, but we're going to have a bit of a pullback, right, or the continuation of the pullback, possibly to this demand level before it takes off, right? So again, it's just something that you guys want to take into consideration, this level of demand before price rises, even though it can just do it from here. If it does, you may miss the boat on a few trades, but you don't lose a thing. All right, the train will always come back, and you just have to know how to catch it. All right, but bullish on the dollar. Right, moving over to the yen. All right, typically we don't review this, guys, but it's in my list, and I just want to go over it really quick. So we broke the high, made the new high, and we're starting the pullback phase all the way to this demand level. So getting a good look at the JPY on the lower time frame, you guys can start to see how we're beginning to fall on the JPY index. Right, so pairs like AJ, GJ, EJ, CJ, right, UJ and NJ are all the pairs that you want to be looking to buy right now at this very moment on August 3rd. All right, so GJ is a very good setup. Right now we will review that in a little bit, but I suggest taking a look at a buying opportunity on GJ. All right, so bearish on JPY. Over to our dollar, guys. We just got a change of character at the lower time frame where we broke this particular high, we pulled back, engineered some liquidity. So because the dollar looks like it's going to rise, I can see the odd dollar falling just to sweep this liquidity and tap a little deeper into this level of demand here. All right, and right at that level, guys, we'll respect it and go ahead and rise. Be very careful as we have these equal lows here, and price loves to sweep that before going off. So a better position would be something where you are near those equal lows and giving yourself a little bit more wiggle room below those equal lows as a stop loss. So good 14, 15 pips that you can get away with on our dollar. And then taking a look at it on the higher time frame, you can see that we got a 1 to 13, guys. 205 pips for just 15 pips on our dollar. I really like this setup. Again, the dollar will eventually rise. Now, that typically will cause the odd dollar to fall, right? But for right now, remember, the dollar has a little bit more falling to do. So again, look out for the buying opportunity here on our dollar. But if anything changes in the structure, then we'll go ahead and start looking for sells. But right now, our dollar is bullish. All right, bullish on our dollar. Over to euro dollar, right? So euro dollar has also gone bullish since last week, because again, the dollar did drop, and now it seems like it's going to continue a little bit more of that drop as this pullback, as it completes the pullback, and then from there the dollar should rise. So what we should be looking for, if the dollar is currently going to rise, the euro dollar will fall a little bit, potentially get to this level of demand, right, and then take off once again to the upside. But the dollar could be bullish. So what that means is that the euro could fall, and then continue falling, right? So we got to be very, very careful of which way we decide to go on, the euro. For right now, what I would suggest is you guys wait until the dollar gets at its second demand level, right? And then once you see it start to rise from there, then look for your selling opportunities on the euro. It'll line up with what we expect the dollar to do long term, because it has just given us a bullish reversal chart pattern, which is that inverted head and shoulders that we've already broken the neckline, and now we're retesting that neckline. So again, guys, if the bulls show up from there, it's lights out. All right, so we should expect pairs like euro dollar, pound dollar, odd dollar, New Zealand dollar to all fall. All right, but they're not really set up just yet, so you just got to be patient and wait for that. All right, we do have news for the dollar on Tuesday and Thursday, PMI on Tuesday and unemployment on Thursday. So those days should be eventful days to look for these opportunities. All right, guys, all you need is one really good setup, and that'll make your day, possibly your week. Okay, so right now a little mix on euro dollar, but potentially looking for that sell opportunity as the dollar does look very bullish. All right, so bearish on euro dollar, pound dollar, again expecting it to get up to this level of supply as a retest, possibly up a little higher. You never know, especially with news. But overall, because we broke the low and we made a new low, price is just simply pulling back to our key areas, and from there we will be looking for the sell opportunity. All right, guys, so I'm bearish on pound dollar. Right, over to New Zealand dollar, and it's opposite. I am bullish, right, because it just made this low. But again, it is still bearish, even though I'm bullish on it, just temporarily. It is just one of those situations, guys, where you want to make sure you understand what's going on with market structure, right? In this case, we broke the low, we made the new low, and now it looks like we're going to begin the pullback phase to the upside. And as the dollar may still have more potential to drop before it rises. So you'll see the New Zealand dollar rise before it potentially drops. That's how that's going to work. Again, breaking lows mean we want to go lower. So we're just simply looking for the supply zone to tap into before we fall, right? So it could be this one, and it could be this one, maybe possibly even this one. So you just got to look out for it. But most likely it'll be this one, because this is the one where we have imbalance sitting right below it. So price is attracted to that imbalance. So we most likely will get a rise to about here before getting the fall on New Zealand dollar. All right, so temporarily bullish, but overall bearish on this pair, because I do expect the dollar to rise. All right, moving over to dollar CAD, and again we broke a high, made the new high. This all tells the story that we want to go higher, which is exactly what I was mentioning with the dollar. All right, so currently at this demand level, and we could continue to respect it. If the bulls show up, guys, this may be a great buying opportunity for dollar CAD, but overall I am bullish. If I get to the higher time frame, okay, it does look like we have a nice move up to get to these highs, and we're probably looking at, there it is, a good 219 pips that we can make off of that play, guys. Nice triple bottom, bullish reversal chart pattern, right? Breaking the neckline, retesting, and now the bulls just need to show up, and it's lights out. All right, dollar CAD looking very good for a buying opportunity right now. All right, bullish on dollar CAD. Over to dollar CHF, and you can kind of see the same setup, guys. So two equal lows, break of the neckline, push up, making the higher high. Now we're making that higher low. So again, I see imbalance sitting at this indecision candle. All right, guys, so we may drop down just a little bit to probably tap into that demand level before rising, but ultimately I do expect dollar CHF to rise. All right, so as we get from this demand level possibly up to the previous high, which is right here, that's 195 pips, guys. This is a easy setup, all right, coming from a nice chart pattern of the most notorious one, right? The double bottom, right? So don't miss out on your buying opportunity on the dollar-based pairs. Bullish on dollar CHF. Over to dollar JPY, all right? And now we got to go a little lower to view the story. And it is bullish, right? I told you guys the J's, or the JPY index, was falling, right? And because of that, in this particular pair, that would make the dollar stronger. So it will rise against the yen. And this is a great opportunity to buy it because we are now low, coming from a demand area, and the bulls are showing up. Looking at it on a lower time frame, you guys will get to see more details of that market structure, of that change. Let's see. So went to 15 hours instead of 15 minutes. There it is, right? So as we make that drop down into demand, we see price get above this structure level, giving us a change, right? And now just parabolic, a little bit of imbalance here. So we may see a dip where price comes to this demand zone before taking off. But this is a very good position, getting in here with a stop right below the wick. That's 36 pips, right? We already got a 1 to 2 with just this position. That's 77 pips to the upside, but we can go to fill the imbalance that it created when it pushed down, all right? And that will give us a nice risk to reward of 1 to almost 9, guys. And that's, again, 36 pips for 322, all right? UJ is definitely a play that you guys want to take advantage of and looking for a buying opportunity on it, all right? I'm bullish on dollar JPY. All right, over to pound odd. Let's get higher, right? There's nothing here, guys. Absolutely, positively nothing. Too much consolidation, too much wickage, and too many fake outs. Not any readable structure at the moment. So we need to stay away from pound odd, all right? Don't waste your time. Come back when it's ready to go, all right? For now, nothing on pound odd. All right, pound CAD. It did break a low, and it potentially could go lower, but it doesn't look good. All right, guys. So just like pound odd, pound CAD is starting to look like a trade we want to, or a pair that we want to avoid, and looking for trades because you will waste your time with this type of market structure. It is unclear, and it is by design. All right, it will confuse you. You will take a position where you knew that you couldn't read it and then wonder why you lost it. All right, don't let that be you for a pound CAD. But if you just so happen to want to trade it, it's looking more like a sell opportunity if we get to the supply level than anything else at the moment. But again, I would suggest to stay away until things become a little more clear. All right, so undecided on pound CAD. Over to pound Swiss franc, and it is ready right now, ladies and gentlemen. I will get into this for a buying opportunity, and you guys can do the same if you would like. Okay, and here is a nice change of character, breaking this high, making the new highs, pulling all the way back to that demand level that initiated that break, guys. This is picture perfect. And it looks like we're going to get away with just 34 pips, right, to make, see, 178, right? So first time live, well, maybe not the first, but here on the weekly watch list, this is a play that is available right now for you guys to get into. So if you're looking at this video a little late, make sure to go check to see where price is, right? And if you're anywhere around 1.06965, then you still have the opportunity to get in. You may need to put a bigger stop loss, but this is a beautiful setup. All right, ladies and gentlemen, easy money on the table, bullish on pound CHF. Right, over to pound JPY, you can see I'm already in a buy. So this is another one that I just bought, all right, where I'm already in profit. All right, so we can take it to the house if we bring it all the way up here to where we have our imbalance, all right, on GJ. And if we do a quick measure, we're talking 293 pips to the upside, guys. My team caught this entire drop Thursday or Friday of last week, and now we're turning around and getting the opposite direction. It becomes that simple when you understand this stuff. And if you need to understand it, please make sure to reach out to me. All right, forexwithbain.com. All right, click on the link to join the Discord and let's get it popping. All right, bullish on GJ, hop in. All right, for pound New Zealand, there's nothing there, leaving it alone. All right, crude oil, we have a nice buying opportunity. We've been waiting on this for so long, and it is finally here. I'm seeing if price is going to tap into this imbalance where this fair value gap is. If so, then I'll be looking for a buying opportunity from this zone. As you can see, my long position sits here, pushing it up to the previous high that it made for 1 to 3. All right, guys, this is $4 move on oil, which is 400 pips. All right, but we can get way more than that if price decides to get up to the previous swing high. All right, so that'll get us at 77, and we're talking over, 15 to 20 point $4 move on oil. All right, oil is once again giving us a very nice bullish setup where it's pretty much ready to go right now. All right, so do not miss out on almost 1,000 to 2,000 points on oil. All right, it'll get you paid. Bullish on oil. All right, over to silver, a little mixy, but for right now it does seem to be pushing up from the massive drop or pullback that it had last week on Thursday and Friday. It just swept liquidity, so pretty soon, guys, it will be ready to rise. So it may be from this area because it swept this low, but maybe it may go to sweep this liquidity. It doesn't really look like it. It looks like it's going to respect this for now and just continue to rise. But either way, guys, silver looks really good for a buying opportunity. But just try to catch it low before you get in for it to go higher. All right, but bullish on silver. All right, over to gold. My team bought it last week as the dollar was dropping, and you can see we are in profit, but we're up against a resistance area now. With the dollar looking bullish, this could easily bring or push gold down, or at least give us a pullback or retracement on it until the dollar is ready to do something different. But I'm going to take my money on gold, and I can potentially sell it right now, but I think I would rather wait just a little bit because, again, it is early, so you don't want to be doing too much right out the gate. Right, you want to give it some time to cool down because the spreads are open and a lot of people get gapped right in the beginning. Right, so don't be the one to stand in front of that train. All right, but looking to be bearish currently on gold and then potentially bullish once again, so we'll see. All right, over to natural gas, and yes, I didn't really mark it up, but let's see what we got. Okay, well, we're breaking some lows, so we may potentially want to go lower, but we're at a major support area, so we may also rise, guys. And it's a bit tricky. You guys are going to have to get to a structure or a time frame where you can read the structure a lot better. All right, and this is giving a little bit, right? I see a double bottom. We broke the neckline, pulled back, took off, but we haven't gotten above this high. So all of this could potentially be the pullback to get to this high, which we haven't done yet. Looks like we broke low, so we again just may go lower, but it's very, very mixy on natural gas. I would leave it alone for now, but I do see the potential for it to rise to get back to this supply area. So doing something like this, coming down to this area, rejecting it, and then coming back up, sweeping liquidity here, and then giving us a selling opportunity from the supply area. But for now, you may want to be looking for your buying opportunity on natural gas. All right, so bullish on natural gas. All right, SPY, guys, every indice tanked last week, and my team took advantage all the way. All right, guys, so let's look at this on the higher time frame, and it was a tattletale story. Bearish divergence, double top, broke the neckline. Now we did not get the retracement yet back to this area, of supply, but we may get it now. So you may have a opportunity to catch the indices rising up to this level of resistance right now, but your better opportunity is going to be once price gets back up to the supply area to sell it with a position like this. And again, you're looking to make over 462 point move on NAS, guys. So I'm sorry, on SPY. So I'm bearish on SPY, right? Moving over to NAS, again, we caught the drop on NAS, and that was well over 1,000 points. And whoop, there it is. All right, 1045. Right, so now we're getting ready to get that pushback to the level of supply that initiated that break. Right, guys, so you can try to take that buying opportunity up to that supply level, but chances are you want to just look, or you want to wait until it gets to that supply level to look for the selling opportunity. All right, there's been a lot of fear in what has been going on with tariffs and interest rates to cause the indices to drop. So there's just going to be more fear come this week with the economic news that we have for the dollar. So typically when the dollar rises, again, these indices will fall, and the dollar is looking very, very bullish, which is why the indices fell in the first place. Right, so again, guys, look for that push up, catch it if you want. Just know you're going against the trend. Right, the real trade opportunity is from this high, from this supply, catching it all the way down to this liquidity. So we caught 1,000 points on NAS last week, but if we do a quick measurement from supply down to this liquidity, we're talking 2,132 points. Right, NAS will get you guys paid. All right, bearish on NAS. Right, same for US30, guys. We sold it. You can see where we entered, right? And we were up big time, right? So easily take that, right? And now look for our buying opportunity, right? Going against the trend, trying to catch the pullback to this level of supply once again. And then from there, we're looking for that selling opportunity, 2,692 points on US30. Everything is set up very, very nicely, guys. You just have to be patient, and I promise it'll pay off. Right, so with that being said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Let me know what you're looking at this week, what looks hot, right? So we can all, get us a little something, okay, and have it, maybe a payday before Friday. All right, but in the meantime, in between time, I know what it is. It's your boy. Peace.
Wanna get money? Wanna get paid? That's Forex. Like a sensei, then you know you gotta come and swing my way. And if you wanna fast forward here, replay.